All right, we have just all seen Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
And we have our thoughts.
This is our spoiler review. We're about to spoil this whole movie for you.
Exactly. So if you haven't seen it, you can like this video and come back later after you've seen it, or you can just watch it and, be those people. Yeah. Anyway, what did you guys think? We just saw the movie last night. For some of us, you saw the opening night. It is opening weekend. What did you guys think about the movie?
I think you guys should start because I have a different opinion. We talked about it a little bit before, but
I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it?
I liked it a lot. With the last couple Marvel movies, I find it best to walk in with either no or low expectations.
That was my mistake.
that was your mistake.
I had such high expectations.
I've trained myself to not get excited for movies anymore. The last one I didn't end up being a letdown, but a lot of people loved it, and I was like, yeah, it was cool, but it wasn't on the same level. That was The Northman. And this time around, I had no expectations. But so I went in and I really enjoyed it. I think it kind of reminded me why I'm a fan of horror movies and camp. And it just made me love Sam Raimi all over again because his style really came through with the directing, which is you can't really say that for a lot of Marvel films. A lot of them have no style. They're just a movie that looks like a movie. So I like that he kind of pushed the envelope with this one, and I hope to see more directors trend towards this, and show their style in a Marvel film.
Yeah. Definitely one of the strongest things about this movie was the visual aspect. I just the crazy looking awesome scenes, especially I know one of our friends doesn't like this. Her name's Cassidy. Shout out to her.
Shout out to Cassidy.
The zombie Doctor Strange with the 8.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the 8 tentacles.
I love that. I love that so much.
That was cool. Yeah. Any kind of horror imagery was the best. Also, those sick guitar riffs that Danny Elfman was doing.
That was nice.
This is surprising. Movies should be like this.
I think they needed more of that, to be honest.
Yeah, they needed more campiness, more style. I think
I don't know about campiness, but the horror
I like camp.
The horror scary zombie stuff that I feel like they needed way more of it.
Lean in, be stylish. I think that's what Taika Waititi did, and that's why Thor Ragnarok is a lot of people's favorite Marvel film.
I mean, I guess I can start with a few criticisms I have.
Dang, I want to talk about what I love.
Go for it.
Let us speak, Scott.
Yeah, I have a lot of things to love. I think for me, what really, other than the style that was really nice, is I feel like the character arcs were really, really good, especially for the protagonist and the antagonist, because the dilemma here is really about, magic, and we both see how both of them could be seen in the wrong and the right, because with Strange, he's all well, what I'm doing is necessarily not wrong.
I think, and they did that, they kind of highlighted that with the doctor guy at the beginning of the movie, being hey, I lost my brother, I lost my cats, was there any other way?
Exactly.
And so even though we know that hey, he looked into the future, all of these possibilities, and this is the only way, the ramifications of his actions led to a lot of pain and hurt for a lot of people.
Exactly. That's what I liked about it. So we both can see why, for example, why Strange could be a problem, but we also see how Wanda is, and it's you can see dualities but also different viewpoints. So I like that, as well as Wanda, she even had her own character arc with the whole her trying to get her family, and then at the end she gets her family, but they just look at her as a monster, and her realizing
at what cost,
what was the point of all this. So it's for that to happen, and then even Strange kind of realizing that maybe he doesn't have to go certain, he can take risks, but not all the risk has to be I have to use somebody's life. I think, to me, that's stuff that's what I love about movies. So because of that, that's to me what I loved about this movie for the most
I think
part.
in concept, all of those things I like as well. Yeah.
So yeah,
go ahead, OC.
That's my.
I mean, we could do a critique sandwich, so we can put the critiques in the middle, and then we can.
Okay, fair. All right, let's get to the critiques.
It's gonna be a big piece of meat, bro.
Let's see.
Wow.
Okay, well, I won't do critiques right now. My favorite part of this movie is the fact that it fixed my biggest gripe with WandaVision. The biggest thing that I came out of WandaVision with was the fact that, hey, Wanda is a bad guy. She's not a good person anymore. She was a hero, and we missed that Wanda, but she's gone now. And I was kind of annoyed by the way that the show kind of left it ambiguous, as if she was still this like morally good person. And they even kind of did that a little bit too at the beginning of this movie, where when Strange initially meets up with Wanda, he's like, I'm not here to talk about Westview. You like said it right at the end. It's like, no, you don't. That's not okay. Like, that's not an excuse. She said it right at this. Nah, that's not enough. But then they kind of like they kind of pushed it to her as like, oh no, I mean like this is who she is. Like she's a villain who is now not. She's stopping at nothing to get what she wants.
I think they kind of gave her an out as well because of the Darkhold.
In a way, but she didn't even obtain the Darkhold until like the end of WandaVision.
That's true. She did terrible stuff in WandaVision, but then like in this movie as a standalone, which is, I'm gonna also ask a question about this, but to you guys, but like in this movie alone, if you only watch this movie, you'd be like, oh yeah, it was the Darkhold that made her bad, right? That's why she also destroyed it at the end. Like all of them in every universe.
Yeah, but then that begs the question, like, how did she get the Darkhold? Like, it's not like anyone forced her to use it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but I think when she started using it is when she became corrupted. And
yeah, but
I think I don't know if you can just take this in isolation as a Marvel movie.
That's my question that I mentioned. Mm-hmm. One of my friends asked me, you know, how did I like the movie? I haven't answered yet, but how did I like the movie? And I was like, well, my answer was, have you seen WandaVision? She said no. And I was like, how do I approach this? So I wanted to ask you guys, like, do you feel like she has to watch WandaVision first?
I would say to have a full understanding of the movie, yes. I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Because they reference it a lot.
That one is like, can be considered a required watch now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man, why?
Oh, so that's the reason you don't like this, because you don't like WandaVision.
That's
Also, I felt like you would like that they leaned in with like her being more evil, because you're like the only person here who loved Game of Thrones the last season. She went full Daenerys, so I was like, oh, I bet OC will love this.
Oh man, there's so many mirrors. I can see it now.
I was like, I bet OC will love this, and I was right.
No, I mean, I did. I loved how they did it, and they made her like this like villainous, evil horror movie.
I like the way they did it because it was very stylish and cool and like jump scary, and I love that.
Her like limping through the tunnels.
Yeah, lots of horror Easter eggs. Carrie, Evil Dead.
I like the idea that we do have like a hero that's fault from grace, because it's kind of like it's good to see how these Marvel universes, because especially for the Marvel, like DC, we're used to that, but for Marvel, we're always used to these characters being seen as like sunshines and rainbows. So to have this like fall from grace kind of character, it's kind of interesting. So I like that aspect.
And then we also, just to mention something we talked about previously, so we don't have to talk about it again, like the whole quote of her saying, oh yeah, you know, you break the rules, you're a hero, I break the rules, I'm a villain or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like, dude, Doctor Strange is like trying to save people and help people. You are literally murdering people when you're breaking the rules.
The way she delivered it, she was already like clearly unhinged though. Like it's not like she was like trying to negotiate with him.
But we talked about this before we saw the movie. Now that we've seen it, it's just like there's nothing to debate about in that. It's just, you're wrong. You're just straight up wrong.
Yeah,
like,
I think we know that too as an audience.
Yeah.
I think they left it to be ambiguous in the trailer, which is like they have to do that, you know? Like that's just what they always do with trailers.
But oh man, I hate her.
This comes to one of my criticisms is in the trailer, they made Mordo's character seem like he was going to be
more
important, somehow like the main villain. And that was obviously just to like camouflage from the fact that Wanda was the main villain,
which I liked.
Which was good, but I don't like that Mordo was not. First of all, I don't like that he wasn't as utilized as he could have been, and I don't like that it was a different Mordo than the one that we had connections with.
I agree.
I kind of hope that we get some sort of conclusion with that Mordo.
So we go on critiques now.
Did he need to be there?
So that was part of my, expectation, I guess, that I felt disappointed in. And then another thing is, the Illuminati. I loved the Illuminati. But I was hoping it would lead to more stuff, which it still could, because it could still like branch off into other movies that, hey, we set something up here that will maybe be fleshed out.
Was
later
it really
on.
a setup? I feel like it was more of like an Easter egg, because
Yeah.
those
100%.
in that universe, no one is there anymore except for Mordo.
They're all dead.
Yeah, and Christine. So I think it's like a cool Easter egg, and like I really liked seeing Wanda wipe them out.
Yeah,
I
this-
really enjoyed that scene. I was filled with glee the whole time, like with glee the whole time.
I'm at the polar opposite. I'm like, when she started killing everyone, all I could think about was, man, you guys are so goddamn stupid. Like all of you, even Reed Richards, the smartest person in that universe, is literally the dumbest person I've ever seen in a MCU movie. Like, how could you have? Why didn't you just listen to Strange like a little bit?
I think, okay, I do have a gripe with that too, especially fresh off the heels of Moon Knight. I'm kind of tired of seeing the same scene over and over again where, like, you know, protagonist stands before a council and we've got to deliberate before we can make any actions that could help this process along, really. And so, yeah, I agree with you on that, but I'd still love to see them get killed. Like, this is a personal thing because I just like seeing that stuff.
Yeah.
Also, you know, we can say sometimes they seemed kind of like maybe underpowered and Wanda seemed overpowered, but we have to attribute that to like the Darkhold, and like that's why she's so overpowered.
I understand that, but it's just the fact that they were just like, oh god, all these people are so great. The Illuminati defeated Thanos, blah blah blah. They can do all this stuff. They took out Strange because he caused an incursion and destroyed the whole universe. Like, they feel like they're above everyone and so smart and just like so powerful, and then they're like, oh yeah, we can handle Wanda, no problem. Like, they brushed her off like she was absolutely nothing, saying that, oh yeah, we know her, we know that we can handle it easily.
Yeah.
And then they all just died so quickly.
To be fair, like, we don't know what happened in their universe, and also like before like WandaVision or anything else, like how much did we like it was easy to kind of discount like Wanda in the beginning, even in the MCU and in general.
Yeah.
She really only became like a big threat like in this film.
Yeah, and another point to that, because I know we had this discussion funny enough, we had a discussion last night.
Yeah.
And one point that you brought up was the idea of like, okay, how did they not see, like, from like looking at, since they did Doctor Strange and they saw how Doctor Strange can get all crazy with it, shouldn't they had that same caution for Wanda? And you can almost make the argument that that's the reason why they were confident, because since they deal with Doctor Strange, who also had that, they thought Doctor Strange, they said Doctor Strange was more threatening. They thought Doctor Strange was worse. They thought, okay, if Doctor Strange was worse and we took care of that, Wanda shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
So I think that was another reason why they had that.
Yeah,
They
but
might have had
confidence.
tunnel vision for Doctor Strange, because for things to get so bad that they would kill their compatriot, like it might have felt like a really big threat to
Right.
them, and taking care of that maybe made them
That's
confident.
I'll give you that. That's a good point for sure. Like, if they consider Doctor Strange more threatening, and he also had the Darkhold, then I don't know the context to when he got killed. Like,
Yeah.
the guy just blasted him, but maybe they fought beforehand.
Yeah.
It felt more like he was sacrificing.
Yeah, it
himself.
felt like he was just submitting, right?
Yeah.
So it
It-
didn't even feel like a fight. So in
But
that
I
case,
don't
it
know.
weakens your argument.
That's true,
Sorry.
but even then, but point is that the fact that they were able to stop him. I think the idea is that they, especially because they try to reason with Wanda, right? So they must have thought in their head that, okay, we're able to do
they're
this.
trying to do talk no jutsu.
Basically.
because it worked with Doctor
Doctor
Strange.
Strange. Maybe that's what they were in their head thinking about. And not to
Okay.
mention, they were really confident.
No,
and not to mention, they were very confident
thought too.
that they, I forgot that guy's name, the guy that Wanda took his mouth.
Black Bolt.
They were very confident that he can just instantly kill her. And I'm pretty sure they're basing it off of their Wanda, right? Because their Wanda probably is a little bit more weaker. So I think if you think of all those concepts, like, again, I'm not saying you're like, again, I think your point is very valid. I just think that where they're coming from, that's where they must have made their conclusion.
And then they're
Yeah.
idiots for it.
Exactly, 100%.
And the smartest guy in the whole universe is an
No,
idiot
yeah,
for it.
I mean,
I mean, hey man, that's
And the
thing.
mind reader that could have read Doctor Strange's mind and see her
Exactly.
capabilities.
I mean,
is
hey, look,
also
To be fair, we don't know if Reed Richards is the smartest person in that universe.
he's the
They
smartest
said they
person in that
introduced him
universe. Yeah,
as that.
They said that.
yeah. They introduced him like that. They did.
I think it was a blind spot. That I really
Yeah.
think they just did not trust Doctor Strange at all. Like, it seemed like they had like
But Professor X
PTSD.
could read his mind.
No, but
there's a point on that. But I think to that point is like, even if Professor X can read their mind, how much would they Like, yeah, you can trust Professor X, but if you have a distrust on somebody, like sometimes emotions over.
Yeah, to that.
They're the Illuminati guys.
Wait, no.
I feel like
No, to that point, Professor X did trust this Doctor Strange. Remember, he was the one that was at the end, like,
right, but
okay,
he
you
could
can
have
do
at
it.
least warned the other Illuminatis, like, oh, let me look at this Wanda or this issue that you're bringing up, so that we can fully judge you clearly, and then be like, guys, this is a serious threat. Like, we haven't handled something like this before.
That's true.
Like that was a huge, like, logical leap that I could not forgive.
I think in the context of the movie, what we saw, they didn't have enough time to go through all of that because Wanda was there pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Between the introduction of Professor X and then Wanda's arrival, there was not a lot of time.
I don't know. I feel like
for
there was a
deliberation.
fair amount of time.
And usually, whenever we see Professor X reading people's minds, it's a process. Like he has to be like they have to be sort of in this like pseudo.
I don't know, guys. I feel like he could have just been like, "Show me," and then.
No, that's not. We've never seen him do that before.
He's done that in some of the X-Men movies. Where
Which one? I don't think he's ever been like, "Yo, let me read all of your memories."
If in Days in Future Past, he can literally look like at what his time version self is seeing. Like, how can he?
That's
not
his
do it for a
self,
real?
though. That's himself, and that was with like, wasn't that with Kitty Pryde's help? No, that was Wolverine.
That was with the
Anyway,
Cerebro. I
that
don't
was
know.
Yeah,
I
but,
mean,
like, he's literally looking at someone else's mind from time travel as well.
yeah, but that
I still think it's a matter of time too, because like if he sees Doctor Strange's memories are everything that happened at the Stronghold, and like she killed all those, sorcerers, but like he's still in the company of like the greatest heroes in the world, so they probably still had that confidence, like we can handle a threat, we can handle a witch.
I think I don't want us to like overblow Professor X's power.
But he literally went like this and looked into the mind of Wanda.
No,
Like, just that. Like,
yeah, but
and
that's
then, like
different
10
from reading someone's memories, though. Like he we know that he can control people's minds, even from a distance. Like we've seen him do that plenty of times. That's a different thing from reading somebody's past memories.
Yeah, when has he done that?
He does that only when it's like you have to be in like this.
Look, he looked
sleep
into
state
Eric's
position.
mind
He
in the
does
first
that.
X-Men First Class movie. Like, just brought out a memory like that. That was fast. That was super fast scene, dude.
I don't remember that.
It was when he was moving the satellite and he was saying like, oh, like I find that you're the strongest when you look in between like pain, anger, and
I mean, but
serenity.
this is somebody that he's been in contact with for a ton.
Oh my god, dude, he could.
This is his friend. Like
He read his past the instant he met him. He was like, "Oh, I understand what this means to you, but you have to let go or you'll drown." Dude, that was instantaneous. Okay,
I don't
am
think so.
bringing up
I don't
points from the
think so.
movies that are like that happened.
Whenever like
This is young Professor
whenever
X
he's
too.
reading Wolverine's
All right, you're
mind,
underestimating him.
He's in like this sleep state. Whenever he was reading like
Yeah, the
Jean
original
Grey-
X-Men movies.
Jean
Yeah,
Grey's
yeah.
mind she's in like a sleep state.
This is young Professor X we're talking about, and he could do those things instantly. I don't know what you're talking about.
Also, this is a different Professor X. Like this
Yeah.
isn't in the earth of the movies that we've seen. This is a different Professor
Okay, so
X.
you're saying this was just he just sucks. He can't do anything that the previous ones can.
I mean, if Reed Richards is stupid,
Yeah. I mean, one thing
right.
I could say about that is, what if because Professor X already trusted him, so that's a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
So my thing is, what if Professor X knew that it wouldn't be as fast if he just tried to tell them, as opposed to him letting them go after them a little bit, and then kind of just.
You mean letting them all die?
I mean, not in that sense, because I don't think he knew Wanda was that powerful. But letting them go fight Wanda and then kind of like.
That's my point, dude. Like, he
Yeah.
could have instantly looked at his mind and been like, "Oh shit, this is a threat, guys." But okay, I get it.
Okay,
Look. I totally understand what's going on. Like, they just wanted to make this Easter egg. They didn't think about it that hard.
Yeah.
And they thought it would be a cool scene that everyone died.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But it's the fact that it happened that makes me kind of angry or kind of like upset at the scene.
Yeah.
Is because they presented it like this Illuminati supposed to be super formidable, and they just all died like that.
Yeah.
I think that I like that they died instantly.
Yeah, it reminded me of Deadpool.
I don't know.
Then why didn't Wanda just kill everyone else as easily, you know? And also, Doctor Strange felt so underpowered and did not use the mirror dimension at all in this movie.
I think he felt
did use
under.
it.
He used it once, but
He used
it.
to try to trap her. But like, I don't get why he didn't use it more on like different occasions.
I think the Doctor Strange being less powerful than Wanda worked just because Wanda had the Darkhold. But as soon as Doctor Strange got started using the Darkhold, he was now able to kind of go toe to toe with Wanda.
Yeah, but like Doctor Strange from Avengers Infinity War feels way more powerful than he does in this movie.
Is it more powerful or more cunning? Because I feel like a lot of what he was doing was more strategic cunning than
he could multiply. He could hold Thanos like in place.
Yeah,
he could like block his like huge moon attack, like defend against it. He could do so many things that were like way cooler and way stronger than in this movie, in my opinion.
Is that like a problem with this movie or just a problem with the MCU where I feel like
this movie is so tied to the MCU?
No, that's what I'm saying is like I feel like each of the heroes kind of have like varying levels like in movies of like their powers sometimes, and I don't know if that's like specific to like Multiverse of Madness.
I mean, we also like one gripe I always had with what's it called? I think No Way Home was the fact that I felt like Peter was able to stop Doctor Strange so easily when I'm thinking. So it's one of those things.
Yeah,
where it's
that's
like,
what I'm saying. It's an MCU problem more so than like a Multiverse of Madness problem.
It certainly is an MCU problem, but like we watch things in terms of like this is the MCU and we're watching it as a whole.
Yeah.
So it affects our perception of it.
Yeah.
And also I feel like someone
fair.
who goes into this movie without knowing any previous MCU stuff is gonna be not gonna get as much.
Are
from
people
it.
still doing that?
That's how
in
they all
2022?
are. Yeah.
It's like, come on
Yeah,
now.
are we still talking about this?
not true. Like Shang-Chi, like you can totally watch it without.
Yeah, what about
anything else.
Eternals?
I feel like you could Eternals.
Yeah, except it's a bad movie.
You shouldn't
Okay.
watch it.
So I mean, you're whatever
But
argument
this
you
is
want
a
to make.
sequel, so it'd be hard for someone to watch a sequel and not,
That's true too.
But I feel like they didn't take that much from the sequel. That's another issue I had. It's like the whole mortal thing that we mentioned, like how like you know the something comes due, like the price comes due. The bill comes due. What bill? He's literally breaking every rule,
I guess,
to save the world again.
They just have to make a third Strange movie and have that final. Because I love Chiwetel Ejiofor as an actor.
Me too.
And I think they just need to utilize him.
They will. He's like
more.
he's still alive, and there's that universe is also still alive.
I mean, like, what did they take from the sequel? From the first movie?
It was the whole thing with Christine. It was just his relationship with Christine.
Honestly, like,
including.
That was barely anything in the first movie.
Yeah.
No, it was pretty big.
Not really.
Wait, yeah, it was.
It was pretty big in the first. I
just
watched it.
I just watched it too, and the screen time that they had together was very little.
It was the whole thing of that. From the beginning of that movie to the end of that movie was his relationship with Christine. Like even just going back to the hospital, which I hated that part. But that stuff, it was like his relationship with Christine is like one of the biggest themes in that
Even
movie.
the What If episode was all about Christine.
It was all about Christine.
That I agree with. But the first movie, I don't think it was that heavily on Christine. I think she was forgettable in that movie.
Well, she was great in this one, which is like one thing I like.
She was great in this one for sure. They focused on her way more on this one.
I also like, those scenes with them together. I think they played off of each other very well. And I think when he like finally said he loved her, that really hit for me. So
same here. I enjoyed that aspect in this movie, which is ironic because, like I said, in the first movie I didn't feel anything for them. I didn't care about them at all. Mm-hmm. But this one, like
the performances were great.
Yeah, it was better, way better.
Do you have more criticisms? You probably do. I'm trying to jump back into some good stuff.
I mean, I guess a minor criticism, and I said this in the beginning with where it shows Doctor Strange with America and they're trying to get the book, and there's literally a scene in the beginning where Doctor Strange is handling the monster and like America's just standing there and like, why can't you just get the book? Like seriously, just walk over there.
Yeah, they are
taking. I'm just like, why are you standing here? But that whole scene was a little bit.
The same thing happened again when they were getting the book again. Like he was like walking so slow to the book.
Taking their time. It's like, what are you guys doing? She just murdered the Illuminati. What are you guys? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, that was kind of ridiculous. I agree. I agree with you
there
on
are some
that.
things like that.
No, definitely.
Yeah, and also like I feel like this movie was a lot of style over substance sometimes. Cause like WandaVision,
for the most part.
I mean Wanda, like she could have flown over all that glass. Instead, she decided to step on it and hurt her own body just to make herself look like a zombie-ish.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Although
it was cool to see.
So what?
It was dumb.
Yeah,
all right.
there's the truth behind that. But one thing I will admit, because after when she was fighting, I believe it was Captain Marvel. It did look like she was kind of struggling. Like it almost looked like, I wouldn't say she got weaker, But there definitely was like it did took a lot of strength.
Oh,
for her
she
to
took
destroy.
damage after that fight.
So
oh, definitely.
for that, so I do think that I mean, granted, it is a style versus something because I feel like she could have flied, but at the same time, it's like I do feel like there is like a. It isn't like she's just super overpowered.
I mean, like when she.
That's the thing. Like Wanda is like, even though she has this like she's all this power, she's a glass cannon because she's still like a physical. Like
I would not
being.
describe her as a glass cannon.
No, she absolutely is. Like if she can still be punched out by Captain America.
She got punched so much by Captain America.
When?
Sorry, not Captain America. Captain
Carter.
Carter. There
No, I mean
It was mostly defensive.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
she punched her a good amount of times.
Well,
You mean she tackled her?
No,
Like,
she
well,
literally
Wanda
got
had the
hits
dark
in.
hold.
No, I
She
mean,
got hits in, dude. She got a lot of hits in.
The thing
Well,
is
she
that,
looked
like,
bad after that. She looked.
Yeah,
she took
she
damage.
took damage, is
She
the
took
thing.
damage.
But
she's
she
not-
still managed to stop everyone. Like
If-
after that.
she's like powerful enough to like take on somebody like Thanos, but if Thanos punched her, that would be the end of her.
I don't know about that, dude.
Like,
I don't know about that.
that's how I see her as a glass cannon.
I think.
I
I
Yeah.
see
I don't
that.
think so.
I agree.
Like
Yeah.
she got hit by Captain Marvel. She got hit by like.
She got hit.
Yeah, but she
got,
also
like,
had the dark
She
hold.
had like a power blast. Like
That's what I'm saying though. Like you're
That's not
calling
hit.
you're calling Wanda with a dark hold a glass cannon. She is not a glass cannon.
she's a glass cannon.
She got hit by multiple people all the time that were extremely strong.
I don't think it's
don't-
like. I think she actively has to like. I don't know, do something to kind of defend herself in those moments.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's actively like spell casting to like not die.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like she's not. She got hit. She didn't die. That's all that it is. Like a glass cannon means she would have died.
Not
I mean,
necessarily.
now you're getting really literal.
That's what you mean by glass cannon, right? Like
No, I mean like
you literally
she's
said if she got hit
susceptible
by
to
Captain
physical
America.
damage. Yeah, no, if she got hit by Captain America, I feel like Captain America could knock her out if he wanted to.
But
I think
but she didn't get knocked out from getting
Captain Carter, who was trying.
No.
and Captain Marvel.
I think
Captain
you'd have to
Marvel-
get the drop on her. If she can see you coming, she can spell
Okay, that's
cast.
like anyone, all right.
No, it's
Yeah, it
not.
is true,
If you get the
sure.
drop on Hulk, it's not going to do anything. You can punch the Hulk. That's not doing anything to the Hulk. That's what I mean by glass cannon. That's kind of what I'm comparing it to. Is like if you get the drop on Thor, that's not going to do much to Thor. Just to like in the same way that it would
Sure.
to Scarlet Witch.
Sure.
I think it's fair to say though that like we don't know how powerful Wanda is even now, especially like we
Yeah.
don't know like what's going on,
Yeah.
and they did leave like the outcome kind of open ended with her, like how she is right
Yeah.
now. So I'll give you that. I just feel like we're like
Although-
talking in circles now because I don't think we can convince you that this movie is good
as
at
far
this
as
point.
what the ending of Wanda's outcome, if we know anything about these movies, they don't do redemption arcs. So I'm pretty sure she's gone.
Shang-Chi. Well, no,
I don't think
it's
she's
fine
gone.
because we had like a little conversation earlier about. I think that she's a great villain.
Exactly.
I think
I
they
think she
should.
sucks.
No, I think she. It's because
she's-
you hate
yeah,
her,
as a
right?
villain.
You
She
hate
did a
her,
good
don't
job.
you?
That's the point.
Great.
She did a good
That's
job.
great that you hate her because she's gonna come back and she's gonna be even worse.
I think her motive sucks as well. All right. I feel like
think she's
Killmonger's a
Okay,
better
that's
villain.
actually
No,
one gripe I
she's
do
a-
have with her. Oh, sorry. One gripe I have with Wanda is that in the ending of WandaVision, we see her with like her kids, right? And like
Yeah.
there's a vision with that. So I don't understand. Like, I guess she wants a real family, but it's like her kids were always fake. So what's wrong with her just keeping that vision in the first place? Like, I
Okay.
don't get that.
True. I mean, I think she had.
What I'm talking about. Her motivation sucks.
I think she has a little bit of tunnel vision, y'all. She's mentally unwell. We know this now.
Yeah.
She lost everything, to be honest. She's not,
Dude,
like you said,
so
she's
many
gone.
heroes have lost everything.
That's
No,
true,
but
that's
she
true.
is mentally unwell. She's unwell, you guys. She's sick.
And then
Like,
she also has that book, so that's another thing.
Yeah, she's literally sick. And like she lost everything. She lost like the love of her life. She lost like the children that she made up but exist in other univerces except for her own.
So she goes murders a whole bunch of people.
Hey, we've all seen this. Look, every villain, or if there's any connection we've seen with villains, is that once trauma happens, they just logic
They
leads
use that
away.
as an excuse.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't need to understand her motivation. Her motivations are her own personal motivations. And if you hate her, that's good because she's gonna return as a villain, hopefully. Because I like her as a villain. I think she.
I think she's a weak villain, to be
Really?
honest. Yeah.
What?
You just
Okay.
said she wasn't even a glass
We're gonna-
cannon.
I was
Okay,
saying she's
let's-
strong. She's strong. Okay, we'll do it. Okay, we'll do
We're
a
gonna
different
talk about this
discussion.
later.
This is a different topic.
Okay,
We're gonna have to
okay.
talk about this later.
All right.
I think whatever your feelings are on Wanda, I do think that this is a step in the right direction. I think we need complex villains, and I'm looking forward to tragic villains because they are gonna eventually bring on
Yeah.
Fantastic Four. I want to see a tragic Victor Von Doom. I think that would be great. I think it needs to be handled well, and I think going this direction with Wanda is a step in the right direction of just like making villains that we can really, if not empathize, like sympathize. Right, and feel sad over, feel angry over. You hate her.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a strong emotion, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we'll talk about the villain stuff
Yeah,
more
you
later.
don't hate Malekith.
Who's Malekith?
Exactly.
Did you make that? Is that a person?
No, that's the Thor 2 villain.
Oh.
I think.
Okay,
I
we'll check on that.
Oh, yeah, the dark elf.
Well,
The dark elf.
regardless of what you think about how she's written, I think Elizabeth Olsen, her performance was very
Yeah, her
good.
performance
I
was
think
good.
the
Her performance was
performances are
good, for
great.
sure.
Benedict Cumberbatch is great.
Yeah.
Christine is great. America Chavez, I loved her. I thought she was a really
Yeah.
cool
Yeah.
new character. I think it's hard to like a new character sometimes, and I think they made her very likable. And
Yeah.
I want to see more of her. I think
Yeah.
she did a good job.
I thought it
her
was
scream
hilarious.
is really loud.
I thought it was hilarious that she like kept trying to run away at the beginning. It was like,
Yeah,
you
she's
just
very
saw
natural.
these wizards do all this stuff.
I
and
think
you're just
Sam
gonna run
Raimi
away.
handpicked her because she had a really loud scream, and he was like, his like horror instincts were like, she's great.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she had a really, that was the first thing I noticed is like, dang, like she's afraid for her life right now with these screams.
Yeah, I couldn't stop laughing because her name was America, so it's like we gotta save America. And
Yeah, we gotta save
America
I was like,
has
Jesus,
the
this
has
is
the
Hey.
power.
That's-
America has the power to
Yeah.
just.
That's Miss America.
need.
That's Miss America.
She was for sure a positive in the movie. I enjoyed her
Is
performance
her
and her
actual
character.
character named Miss America in
Yeah.
the comics?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, fair.
Miss America.
So we have Captain America, we have Miss America, we have
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel, Captain
Marvel.
That's a Marvel.
Come on, Marvel.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean, I just want to say I did enjoy a good amount of this movie. It's just certain things that were hard to
They were
forgive.
just contrived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of logic, like
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
if I had turned off my brain for the entire movie, I would have enjoyed this movie.
Hey,
a
that's
lot.
what I did.
And yeah, we'll talk about it more in terms of the villain stuff. But I just want you guys to know I think this is a good movie overall. It's just there are some big gripes in
I
it.
think it's a step in the right direction.
One
I
of
think
the
it's a
biggest
step in the right
gripes I
direction.
have was that this is a Sam Raimi movie and we didn't
Yeah.
see Toby at all. Like, why Toby was not in this movie?
No, but we saw Bruce Campbell, which
We
is
saw Bruce
is
Campbell.
a Sam Raimi, Easter egg if you ask me, because that's Evil Dead, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I wanted to see Toby.
we already saw Toby.
It's not the same.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
we're good. We're good on that. I'm good on
any
that.
other?
If we just had like Tobey Maguire walking down the street in one of the other universes.
And then Wanda kills him.
Exactly.
Any other thoughts, guys? Or there's a lot to this movie. I feel like we could talk about it a lot.
I mean, honestly, the only other thing is I don't know how it will connect with everything else that we've seen, as far as like the TVA, the Celestials, all of these other like otherworldly aspects that they're trying to introduce to Marvel, all in this Phase 4, all at the same time. It just, I don't know.
Well, we have someone who can travel between the dimensions now, so that might be
Yeah.
something.
But
we
how
bring
does
up
that-
in Quantumania or
How
something.
does that connect to the timelines?
Who knows? Maybe they're all different dimensions.
So each dimension has its own timeline. Like these are questions. Like, does each dimension have its own timeline? Are the timelines the representation of these different dimensions? Like, and do each of them have celestials in them that are different from each other, or do the celestials cover all of it? Like,
Tune in next time.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just getting messier and messier.
It feels like it's getting messy, which I don't like. Like, this is, and we were talking about, like, in my opinion, this is the best Phase 4 thing that Marvel has done
So far.
since No Way Home. Other than No Way Home, this is the best thing that they've done in Phase 4.
I would agree.
Yeah,
Um,
I also agree.
everything
You know
else.
Sorry. Last critique.
Okay.
I feel like they didn't do anything with Spider-Man. Like they just mentioned him. There was no consequence to him.
They weren't supposed to do anything with him. He's gone now.
No, I know, but there was no consequence to him like shattering the multiverse stuff in that movie.
They don't even remember him.
Yeah.
Scott has a point where Peter said they don't remember Peter, but they remember Spider-Man. Because otherwise, why wasn't he brought up?
Yeah, but it's the fact that
Spider-Man is going back to street crime, y'all.
Yeah.
it's the fact that he did all this stuff in terms of helping Peter and breaking the multiverse, introducing other things, and then there was like zero consequences in it. Because I felt like I guess part of me thought this movie was gonna address like, oh, because you did that, like because you messed with the multiverse stuff.
I thought so too.
It seems purposeful then that there's no Spider-Man involved.
Yeah.
Well, it's not Spider-Man. It's just the things that he did in that movie that I thought they were going to address.
But they don't. Yeah, there's the whole thing of like, we don't know who remembers what, especially with those events.
Yeah,
no, he remembers
Spider-Man.
Yeah, he remembers
Spider-Man.
Yeah, he remembers
Do we
helping him
remember-
and doing
Like,
like
he helped Peter Parker. He didn't help.
No,
No,
does
but he
not
remembers
remember-
Spider-Man because he even in the movie. Why would he address that? Because in the movie he literally says multiverse, and he said, "Yeah, I helped Spider-Man," so he remembers Spider-Man.
Right, which is like I feel like it's just
That's
not
a little.
very clear.
That's a little gray.
I feel like
no,
it's
he
just not very-
he
No, but it makes
100% remembers
sense.
Spider-Man because remember in the graveyard with with Happy, he was like, "How do you know?" Aunt May, and then Happy was like, "Oh yeah, I met her through Spider-Man."
Are you saying that he remembers helping Peter Parker by erasing
No, he
everyone's
doesn't help.
mind?
He doesn't remember helping Peter Parker, but he remembers helping Spider-Man dealing with a multiverse.
Do what?
But he
What-
said
what did he
literally-
help Spider-Man do?
With
No, he helped
multiverse.
him with the-
Because he literally says that to America when America asks,
Right.
"What
Yeah. No,
multiverse?"
I
He
know what
said,
you're
"Yeah."
saying. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I just think that it wasn't very clear because
Yeah.
what do we think he did? What do we think he did?
Yeah, what negative thing could come from that
Okay,
if he only
okay.
remembers the
Actually, you're
Spider-Man
right.
part?
They have a point because remember, Peter Parker's the one who
Who made the
So
mistakes.
he doesn't remember Peter Parker. All he just remembers was helping Spider-Man with the multiverse.
Yeah. So it's
Which-
like, what
which
is
means
he actually
everyone else doesn't
remembering?
Really know so people don't know what caused it. Basically, they don't know the cause. They just knew that they had to help Spider-Man.
They're dealing with it like an open and closed
So
book.
it's like since everyone forgot Peter Parker, they don't know the cause of the incident. That's what basically happened.
It doesn't really matter. Spider-Man in this equation almost doesn't matter at all. It's the fact that he did a spell that broke aspects of the.
But do we even know that he remembers?
It doesn't
doing that
even matter
spell?
if he remembers it. It's the fact that he did it.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that point. I agree with you on that point. Like the fact that he did it, but then the fact is like we don't know who knows that he did it.
The fact is everyone who knows that he did it, the only person who knows that he did it was Peter Parker.
Yeah.
So because Peter Parker's the only one who knows he's doing it.
Who's he gonna tell?
Condemn
Who's he gonna tell
who's
also?
gonna condemn him saying, "How dare you did that?" Peter Parker's gonna go back and say, "Hey, how dare you did that?" You know?
Yeah, unless we know that,
Unless
we find
Tobey
something
Maguire
out about,
comes in and says that he did it.
or unless we find out something about the TVA knows or Celestials knows for some reason.
Yeah, exactly.
But and with the after credit, he did cause an incursion, so who knows? Maybe they will deal with it eventually.
Yeah, but it just felt like they were gonna address some aspects of it, of the fact that he did cause that
I
break
thought
in
so
multiverse.
Too. I thought so too. But
And that sort of disappointed me that they didn't address anything whatsoever with that. Even if he forgot, even if someone else mentioned like it happened without knowing,
the details.
Yeah, it still felt like they just didn't care about it.
I think
I think it's more of nobody remembers. That's just what I think it is.
And they focused on his other mistakes, which there are plenty of, I guess.
Yeah, this is a Doctor Strange movie. Keep it a Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah, and my expectations were wrong.
Yeah,
I should not have had them.
I expected them to introduce mutants, and I was wrong. So
I expected to see Toby again, but I was wrong.
A lot of people.
Well, you guys came out of this enjoyed it, right?
Some people expected to see Iron Man.
Yeah, that too.
They were
Tom Cruise,
disappointed.
Iron Man.
Yeah, I was expecting that as well.
But hey, let us know what you expected from the movie, and if you got what you wanted, hopefully somebody did. But I still loved it. I think a lot of us still loved it.
This is my top 5. So
just
Top
don't
5
have any
what?
hopes or
I am
expectations.
so-
Why
All
would you
time?
put all your hope and expectations on Doctor
Really?
Strange,
Yeah.
dude?
Wait.
Because I like the first movie.
Should we?
Okay.
Well, maybe I may have to reconsider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I like this one better than the first Doctor Strange. That's just me.
Yeah, it's better than.
I'm
the first
very
Doctor
happy for
Strange.
you guys. I'm very jealous that you guys have this level of enjoyment.
You're like the only one that likes Doctor Strange, like the first one.
Exactly. The
ending.
Let us know
Okay.
your thoughts in the
right.
comments below. And if you enjoyed
right.
our discussion, like and subscribe. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.